What's up, everyone? You're here with Goran, and thank you for joining me here once again for your free picks for Saturday. That's December 23rd, guys. We are in the Christmas weekend officially, and after a great start on Friday with some of those free picks we had from the comment, uh, we got two nice wins, and then we got three losses in a row. Aston Villa barely got a draw at home. Milan got a draw against Salernitana. Monza failed to score against Fiorentina as well. So we ended that day quite sloppy, but we move on to Saturday. It's not the usual busy that we have on Saturday, but we still have 11 or 12 free picks for you here to talk about, guys. And we have some interesting matchups in the EPL, one interesting game in La Liga, and we have a few games in Serie A as well. For more free picks, go up to the YouTube channel, of course. Make sure you subscribe, make sure you hit that like button. And for my best bets, click the link in the description of this video. And that will get you up to my page where you can sign up. And of course, stay tuned until the end of this video, guys, because I do have a parlay of the day for you as well. It's a nice five-legger that pays on a plus 360, and I'm gonna go full unit on it. I do enjoy this parlay, and I think it's very likely to hit, in my opinion at least. So stay tuned for that as well, guys. Let's get the show on the road, guys, with the EPL matchups. And the first game, 7:30 a.m. Eastern Time. We have West Ham playing against Manchester United, and this potentially could be a very interesting matchup because uh, United, as sloppy as they are overall, they have been quite solid defensively when playing on the road, conceding less than a goal on average. The biggest problem for them is the fact that they are not scoring a lot of goals. And they will definitely need all the chances they can muster together against this West Ham team, who is in a pretty solid form, who has scored more goals than they have by far more. 29 goals in 17 games so far this season, 15 goals scored in 8 games at home. And like I said, they are coming into this game in a good form, while Manchester United will be without a few players as well. We know that Harry Maguire got hurt. Diogo Dalot is suspended because of the yellow cards. Bruno Fernandes, I believe, is still suspended. No, he might be back for this game. But on top of that, they have a bunch of injured players, and their depth is not good at the moment. Uh, West Ham hasn't lost any of the last six home games, and I believe that they deserve to be the favorites in this game, not the underdogs that they are, simply because they're playing against Manchester United. All of a sudden, they are plus 170 underdogs at home, while Manchester United is plus 155 favorites. But you know what? I think we're gonna see quite the offensive game, quite the open matchup, and we know that United got that 0-0 draw against Liverpool last week. They got really, really lucky, but I don't see it happening here. So I'm gonna take over 9.5 shots on target in this one, and that is at minus 124. We are moving on to the 10 a.m. slot, guys, and we have Fulham versus Burnley, the first game we have to talk about. And honestly, I think that despite Fulham being in a pretty solid form, losing only two of their last six games and being quite solid at home this season, I think that they might have a hard game here against Burnley, who sure is at the bottom of the table right now, but they have been showing some signs of life as of late, and they have been scoring some goals as well. Sure, Fulham definitely deserves to be the favorite that they are here in this game. However, they will be without Jimenez for this match, who is suspended because of the red card, and they're also missing a couple of other players. But overall, they're pretty healthy and ready to play. As far as Burnley goes, they are missing some players, and they will have a hard game here. But like I said, I believe they will have a say in this one, and I think that they are good enough to get to the scoreboard. So I'm gonna take both teams to score at minus 110 in this game between Fulham and Burnley. Luton Town is hosting Newcastle in another EPL matchup, and I'm gonna keep this one very, very simple, guys. Luton Town has been horrible overall this season, and they still are horrible with only one win so far at home this season. And I know that Newcastle hasn't been the best on the road, and they haven't been the best overall with four losses of their last five games. Um, I think that they are a much much better team here without all like even with all the injured players they have, and they do have a lot of them. It's gonna be hard for them to make a decent lineup here. Uh, I still think that they are the better team here, so I'm gonna take Newcastle on the money line here, and the price is minus 157 at the moment. Nottingham Forest and Bournemouth is another matchup in the EPL, guys, and Nottingham Forest is coming into this game with a new head coach, which means that that potentially could be a nice positive shock for the players. They might put in some extra effort to prove their worth, uh, maybe earn a place in the starting lineup and whatnot. The unfortunate thing for them is that Bournemouth is now undefeated in their last 5 games, while winning 4 of those 5 games. And on top of that, this is their third game in a row that they're playing on the road, and they have kept 2 clean sheets in the other 2 games. So not only that they are playing well offensively with scoring a lot of goals, they're also playing very, very well defensively. And like I said, that potentially is going to be a big problem for Nottingham Forest. But I do expect a bit of an extra effort from them and their players with the new head coach at the helm and stuff like that. So in this one, I'm going to go with both teams to score at minus 130. We have another interesting matchup in the EPL, and that is between Tottenham and Everton. Now, I do expect goals in this one. I simply have to say that. Even though Everton lost in the Carabao Cup against Fulham after a penalty shootout, in the EPL they are on a 4 game winning streak right now, and not only they are on the winning streak, they have kept 4 clean sheets in their last 4 EPL games. I don't see that happening here against Tottenham, who we know is an offensive firepower, even though they're missing a ton of players because of the injuries and suspensions as well. They have Sol, they have Kulusevski, they have Richarlison up front as well. And this team is consistently creating chances, consistently playing well in the attacking end. However, they can't keep a clean sheet. And for that reason, both teams to score an over 2.5 at minus 125 seems very, very likely to me, guys, and I will gladly take it. The last game of the day in the EPL is a big one. It's a big matchup between Liverpool and Arsenal. And as we can see, the books see them fairly even right now. Minus 145 on Liverpool, plus 170 on Arsenal at the moment. I would say that's mostly because of the home and away thing we have going on. But Liverpool got a win against West Ham in the Carabao Cup 5-1. Arsenal beat Brighton last week in the EPL. They did not have a midweek game, and that's going to be a might be one of the crucial things here because they have some rest advantage. When we take a look at the injury reports, we have Gravenberg out for Liverpool. McAllister is listed as injured. Matip, Jota, Robertson, Bajcetic, and Thiago as well. While for Arsenal, Jorginho is out, El Neni is out, Tomiyasu, Vieira, Partey, and Timber are all listed as injured. However, even without all these players, these two teams still have a lot of quality in in their lineups. They still have a lot of depth as well. They are used to playing multiple competitions a week. They're used to playing multiple games a week, and last weekend, Liverpool could not score a goal against Manchester United, even though they had like 14, 15 shots on target. And I think this one might be a little bit different. But I still decided to go with the player prop in this one. Last week we had Salah to get over 1.5 shots on target. It was plus 150. He got it in the first 20 minutes of the game. I decided to go with the same pick again. Salah over 1.5 shots on target, except this one, this time for some reason we're getting even a better price and it's plus 190. I think it's going to be an exciting game. I think it might start a little bit slower, but I see it ending up with at least a goal on each side, if not more. So, Liverpool versus Arsenal, I'm taking Salah over 1.5 shots on target at plus 190. We are moving on to La Liga, guys. We have one game before the winter break, and that is between Atletico Madrid and Sevilla. As we can see, Atletico Madrid is a huge, huge favorite, even though they're playing a pretty big team such as Sevilla, who finally got a win against Granada 3-0 on the road, and that was under the new head coach. And I do expect a bit of a similar effort from them in this game as well. Atletico Madrid has really fallen behind when it comes to defending over the last couple of weeks. They conceded 2 goals against Bilbao. They conceded 3 goals against Getafe at home last weekend. And with Sevilla, I'm not going to say they are on the rise. They're slowly getting up there. I think that they're good enough to get on the scoreboard in this game. So Atletico Madrid versus Sevilla, both teams to score at minus 127. That's going to be my pick for this game. Now we are moving on to the Italian Serie A, guys, where we have 4 free picks for you. The first one is between Frosinone and Juventus. That's a 6:30 a.m. Eastern Time game. Juventus is coming off of a draw against Genoa, but they have been undefeated for a while. They haven't lost any of their last 7, 8, 9, 10, 11 games in a row, and They are quite solid when it comes to creating chances. They are very good at conversion. They do get a little bit sloppy defensively, but luckily for them, Frosinone is not a team that's going to score a lot of goals. When playing at home, Frosinone has scored 14 goals in 8 games, which is a very decent amount. However, their defense is not that solid. And keeping this one simple, guys, I'm taking Juventus on the money line at minus 167. Bologna and Atalanta is another interesting matchup in Serie A on Saturday, guys. And maybe not on paper if you're really not following Italian Serie A, you really don't uh, I don't know. Maybe you wouldn't think that this is a pretty solid matchup right now, but we have two teams on a nice winning streak. Bologna has won their last 3 games in a row. They haven't lost any of their last five. Atalanta is also on a 3 game winning streak, and Bologna has just beaten Inter Milan in the Coppa Italia after overtime 2-1. Potentially, that could be a great opportunity for Atalanta because Bologna is pretty tired right now. They have been playing games, a lot of games over the last few weeks. Sure, their form is quite well right now, and that's all great, but they are not used to playing multiple games a week, and beating Inter certainly took a lot out of them. And I think that Atalanta might take advantage of that because they are on a 3 game winning streak right now. They have scored 11 goals in those 3 games. However, they have kept only one clean sheet. So with Bologna playing at home, I do expect them to maybe be a little bit more solid defensively, but not enough to stop Atalanta. But I do think Bologna can get to the scoreboard. So I'm going to take both teams to score in this one at minus 124. Inter is hosting Lecce in the Serie A, and they will be looking to bounce back after that loss to Bologna in Coppa Italia, and after they got knocked out. And luckily for them, Lecce, I mean, they are in a decent form, undefeated in their last 5 games. However, they are not scoring a lot of goals. Not overall, not on the road. And I think that Inter, even with all the injuries they have, and they do have a few of them, I think that they have enough quality and enough desire to bounce back after that loss to kind of redeem themselves to the fans. I'm going to take Inter to win at over 2.5 goals at minus 129. And the last pick of this video before the parlay is the big game in the Italian Serie A between Roma and Napoli. And this one could potentially be very, very interesting, guys. Napoli got very much embarrassed by Frosinone in Coppa Italia earlier this week. They lost 4-0 at home. While Roma on the other side has lost in Serie A against Bologna last week, but before that they have been in a decent form and they have lost only 1 game so far at home this season. Napoli on the road has lost also only 1 game so far this season, and they're actually playing pretty well when it comes to playing on the road. They're actually scoring more goals on the road than they are scoring at home, which is 16 goals in 8 games, an average of 2 scored goals per game. But I think that Roma under Jose Mourinho has become a very solid defensive team, especially when playing at home with only 7 conceded goals. Now that happens when you get a little bit rougher, when you don't shy away from making fouls, when you don't shy away to fight with your opponents, and that's exactly what Roma will have to do in this game. So I'm gonna take Roma over 2.5 cards, which is minus 124. I don't think that's high line at all. I honestly think we could see a bunch of cards in this game because I have a feeling it might be a little bit of a choppy game for both sides. But I think that Roma will be the one team that's going to be mostly defending in this game and then looking for the chance on the counter attacks, as opposed to Napoli, who likes to dominate the possession and create most of the chances. So Roma versus Napoli, I'm taking Roma over 2.5 shots on target at minus 124. And to finish this video, guys, we have parlay of the day. Nice five-legger, like I said. We have Tottenham versus Everton over 2 goals. Fulham versus Burnley over 1.5 goals. Inter to win and over 1.5 goals. Royal Antwerp against Westerlo in the Belgian Pro League over 2.5 goals. And Celtic to win and over 2.5 goals in the Scottish Premiership. This five-legger pays on at plus 360, guys. Thank you for joining me here. I hope you have a great day. Like I said, I will be going a full unit on this parlay. You bet only as much as you can, guys, and be careful. Of course, it is a 5 leg parlay after all. So let's all have a great day, guys. Let's all have a great Saturday. Good luck with all of your bets, and I'll see you soon with more free picks.